Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. I planted some Sweet William seed here because I want more Sweet William since I lost some of mine. I planted some more succulents in this pot. This one had the darker green was already there, but I put the lighter green, and that's just because it had a little more sun, I believe. So these may all turn the same color or be two-tone, but either way it'll be pretty. And then the one on the end, this one actually I'm going to try to change out this this cocoa liner pot. I'm not going to end up doing them all this year. I think it's just going to be too expensive to buy that many pots that will fit down inside these. But and it looks like it could last another year on this one, so we'll see how that goes. But this one I did redo. It was totally empty. Whatever was in it didn't make it from last year, but it's looking good now. And I think I'm going to keep this little pot over here, but it's empty too, and I'll probably put a sedum in that one too. I actually plan to put sedums everywhere back here, and only have two places where I have plants that I know I'll need to water every single day, most likely. Columbine. This is the pretty hardy geranium, and I want to probably come and dig this up, divide it, and put it in some other places. This is where I put my little delphinium. This is another pot of sedum. This little pot is looking very bad. It had some mums in there that were growing in with it too. So I'm going to put some more soil in this one, and I'm going to try to see if I can't get this to get started all over. Last year it was just beautiful and filled out, but it didn't fare too well through the winter. But just this little bit can sometimes fill out a pot, so I'm going to give it that chance. This is one of my established sedum in a pot, and pull this away from it a little bit if I can, so you can get the full effect of that little beauty. And this is another pot of sedum, and you can barely tell it probably, but there's another pot right back there. And we are coming up on my favorite of the peonies. This is maybe because this was my first peony, but I just love it. It's just so perfect with the pink and then that little cream center, and they can get so big too. I've heard it read that, oh, this one looks like it may be a big one. A little bedraggled, but it's so pretty. And I have read or heard somewhere, probably on YouTube, that if you cut off some of these buds, the other ones will be bigger. And I'm sure it's probably true, but I don't have the heart to cut them off yet. But I may get there because I do love the big, beautiful ones. This is a little pot that will probably come right out of there. I'm not gonna have so many pots everywhere this year is my plan. And I have been putting sedum in my little pots anyway, because I knew they wouldn't make it with something else in there without constant water. And these are definitely not set up on a drip system or anything. So can you tell? I don't know if you can see all the pretty glistening water droplets on there. I hope you can. So pretty. And I plan to use a lot more rose moss too, because it comes back. It takes it a while. It's going to look like an empty pot from a distance, but when you get up there, you'll be able to realize that it is full of little rose moss seed. And this is one of the places where I clipped off some of the little stalks, or the little on the stem, and used them in other places. And I had quite a bit where the sedum that I had in the front of the pots, with taller in the back and then the short sedums in the front, that just didn't do well or make it at all. This one has got some there, so I may see if I can't get it to fill on out or take some from another pot and put here with it at some point. But this is pretty much the place where I have not got anything filled out, looking good. It looks terrible. You can tell this one here's pot is busted, and a lot of the pots, one of the ones that we had to redo yesterday because the drain hole had stopped up, and I'd had little sedum in it, and it, of course, it just drowned and rotted out. But also realized that a bunch of these pots, when I started them, I used just regular sand, dirt in the bottom part of them, which made them very heavy, and it was another reason that the water couldn't go on through to the small drain hole that got stopped up finally. But anyway, I took those out and put some regular soil in it. And this one, I'm pretty sure, is another one of them like that, which I probably will just take this pot out and not use it this year. I don't know. When I get out here, I'll determine all that kind of stuff. And this little pot here doesn't hardly have anything on it either. But that's okay, because what I'm going to put on this is my begonias from inside. I do much better with outside plants, and so my little begonias are going to come out here, although I have been noticing that they have a real struggle through the August and sometimes even July, but I may need to start bringing them in earlier. It's just so hard to take care of all this and inside plants, but we'll see what will happen. And then right over here is that other pot that I told you had this little lip on it, which is a good thing, because that way they don't have a tendency to just fall out. But I will fill this up with those little peachy orange looking impatiens. That's my plan. Hopefully I'll have that done today. And I love this little one. I'm going to see if I can get a start of this for my granddaughter. I got some for my daughter, and my granddaughter saw it and she wanted some too. So I may have to wait till next year, though, when it's smaller and more easily clipped apart. But I'll see what I can do. And here is another little peony that's beginning its bloom. I did put this little pot together, and it has this bright, pretty pink and green coleus, and then the bright pink, I think these are called violet, but they blend well with this as far as for color. And I'm thinking when that fills out, it's going to look great too. And either some rose moss or some sedum are going in these little pots. So hopefully, I'm thinking I may put sedum in them, because the rose moss sometimes does not reseed in these little pots. So I think I might be better off to put something that I'm pretty sure will come back. Another thing I'm going to have to figure out later. I'm not sure if that's what I'm going to do. And as a matter of fact, as I'm looking at it, at all this over in this area, I'm also thinking there's no way I'm going to get that done today. But if I can just get the plants that I have planted, I will be happy with this day's work. I'm seeing a clematis right here, and I'm going to go around and get it better for you. And these, although they're laying down from the getting heavy from the rain, but this is another Sarah Bernhardt that's just gorgeous, full and just so pretty. Let's see what these look like. Beautiful. Wet. And I have brought the hoe out here and got up all the seedling trees, and now after the rain they're coming up like I didn't even actually get rid of any. And my husband got a picture of this little bloom for me, and the next morning it had broken off in the rain and the wind. This is the Kinsley's ghost honeysuckle that little bee was after. And this is my strawberry pyramid. These are the forget-me-nots that are coming up all around on that bottom tier of this. Don't have so many of the yellow marigolds. I may need to plant some more here. There are a few coming up. And actually, I'm not seeing hardly any of the, if any, of the blue flax. And this is the blue flax, of course, that I just put in from little seedlings that dropped off of the other mother plant. Oh, there's something over there. I'm not sure if that is blue flax or if it's just something I had in there last year or a weed. So we'll just have to see how it goes. That's the bad thing about planting seeds. You don't know if they'll come up thick as they should, if they'll come up too thick. You just don't know. If you plant plants in there, you get a more quick satisfaction of what you really wanted it to be like. But on the other hand, it's so nice to come out and find a surprise in the garden too, and like, oh, it did work, they are up, and I love that too. So this is another of those same type of peonies I was showing you earlier. The little pink single rose. And this one is so not looking good. I think I just left it out there without sun and air circulation too long before I got it in. This one may be able to come out of it, but there's one right there that I don't think there's anything left but the root. You know, I might pray for that little one to see if it'll grow, or it. And this is another pot where I put sedum all around it, and they do look scraggly right now, but they won't stay scraggly. And I put it in this little pot too, but I definitely did leave all this pretty alyssum in there. And I put it around on this side where the alyssum wasn't so much. And I think they'll actually grow up together and be pretty if the alyssum lasts. Sometimes for me it doesn't make it through summer's heat, but if it does, it will renew itself and look beautiful again in the fall. Oh, I saw a little hummingbird, but it flew, so I guess I won't get to show you that, but I'll just show you this pretty Major Wheeler honeysuckle. It doesn't smell like the other one, but it's non-invasive and it's beautiful. And the hummingbirds do love it. As a matter of fact, that little hummingbird is over there on the other side. I saw a little glimpse of it moving around. So it moved over to this side. I hope I'm getting this for you. Sometimes I try and get too close with it and it's a blur, but I hope it's sharp enough you can see. Oh, nearly every pot in the bag has to be filled up. Oh, here's the little one that I did plant, and this is a hummingbird mint, or Agastache, however you say that. I hope it will make it and do well. I've got to get everything planted so I can come out here and kind of be with my husband as he trims all this down. He just likes me to say, now, how short do you want it? Are you sure you want all this off? And all these kinds of questions he has. So I'll try to do that, but kind of wish they were already done. But this one definitely does. This is that pretty white bridal spirea, And it has to be done, because if it's not, it will totally get all the way out here into my path and you can't walk by it. So I want it down, and then it will grow back this much, as like it is right now, next spring, and be full and beautiful of pretty white blooms. One little lone one on there, so you can see that it will be totally all covered. And this is another of the pretty white peonies. It also does have a little bit of red in it, but it's very pretty too. Oh look, I see a new little one out trying his wings out for the first time today. How sweet is that? Look, and even more exciting, I thought these died and they would never be back again, but there's one right there trying to come back. That's so great. These are my blackberries. And while I'm out here just roaming around at ease a little bit, even though whoever really is at ease when they know they have all that work to do and they're not doing it. But I can hear my mother say, sometimes you just got to let all that work go and just enjoy yourself a little bit. And I can hear my daddy say, you're never going to get it done just standing here looking at it. You got to put some elbow grease in there and get your work done. So there you go. I got to do something. But I'm going to try to do just a little of both. Today is May the 9th, and yesterday I did get to go to Yukon and give my friend the purslane moss that I had found for her, and on the way I stopped at Ross and found some more. So they had some very pretty colors there of the purslane moss. And there is still so much blooming in the garden. I like it to last and last, but of course it never does do that for me. But these little peonies over here are definitely going to the spent stage. They're not looking so great right now, but the roses and these little peonies are still looking good. And my bowl of beauty peony is still looking great, even better than the last time I showed you, because so many more blooms are open and looking good. And I wanted to show you that I did get this little strawberry pot all fixed up with impatiens. And I think you can tell that you did a good job when even the little decor seems to be smiling a little brighter, a little bit happier with her place in the world. Although all this other is still not taken care of. But I'm thinking about it. It hasn't left my mind. And one of these days when I get time, I will get back to it again. I've got to take care of some household chores today. Had to send my mother a Mother's Day card, and I hope she gets it Saturday so she will have it for Sunday. And also I wanted to show you this Cinco de Mayo rose in bloom. It just kept on going until it's pretty much all filled out and looking great. So I went over to the other side of it because that's where the little decor pieces are, but also just to show you how pretty and how much in bloom it is. full of alyssum. And most of these little roses are spent, but you can tell there's a new one right there beside the spent ones, and then right here at the top. And my little pink roses are fading. These aren't totally faded yet, but you can tell a bunch of them have gone away. And I'll need to get out here and clip the old spent ones off, because now the red knockout roses are coming on. I usually get a little display of both colors, and then the pink ones go away, and then there's just the red, and of course the pink ones are there first. So when they first bloom, the pink ones are the only color there. So I love the way it turned out. Look how much this white peony has filled out and actually stood up straighter since the last time I showed it to you, when it was so wet that they were all hanging way down, and they've picked themselves up, and so many more have bloomed, and it's looking great, as well as that maroon red behind it. And I see that some of the larkspur is blooming this morning. And I did purchase a trellis for my yellow foliaged lace vine, and I'm planning on cleaning this up hopefully sometime this coming week, and get that all fixed right here in this spot. I think I'm going to do that, although it does get some shade here, but I think I'm going to have to pay a little more attention to make sure this gets some sun too, because it definitely is going to need some sun for that vine. The garden and I have so enjoyed the rains, but I think they're ready for a little sunlight, and they're getting that today. And I visited nurseries at Ross in Yukon and at Lowe's in Yukon, and found lots of pretty things. These I already had purchased, my rose moths. Look at them loving the sun as much as they loved the rain. But I already had purchased these, and they should be in the ground, but I can't seem to get it all done. But I found this lovely little combination of plants at Lowe's, and also this little one. And actually I got all of these on the clearance rack. And they're just great. I mean, I know they probably need to be clipped back and restart their flush of growth, but I can do that pretty easily, and it's just so worth it to watch them flourish with bloom again a second or third, however many times it'll keep going for me. And I did find this lovely coleus, and I found another of the Kong coleus, and this is the painter's palette color that I really like, and this is the trailing sun coleus strawberry drop. It's one of my favorites because it just keeps going and going and filling up and getting to be big for a small trailing coleus. I was also noticing how full this little rose is blooming today. Looking good. It's time for a new pair of boots. They're breaking through, and they're no longer waterproof. So I have new boots today. We took out from the garden a little bit and got some supplies and some food for next week. This is the third pair of boots I've got from Tractor Supply, and before that I got them from Walmart, and they were okay too, but these are more than okay because they come up higher. I can put my pants down in them, and it saves the edge of my pants from so much mud and being torn and shredded, which I do that, but they're so pretty too. They just look like they're gardening boots, so I love them. They're so me. And I also wanted to show you that I did get my little Santalina. I did make the decision, which is hard for me to make a decision, but I did, and I put it in a pot, not in the ground. I just think it's better that way, and I was able to amend the soil with some perlite and some gravel, and right now it's looking good. I hope it just looks better and better as it goes along, or as it grows along. And I trimmed out some more under our evergreen trees, so that my thought was to put some of my houseplants here. And of course this little hosta I showed you, but I wanted it to be in the shade. But really I think it will be, except for the late evening, and the sun will be going down in an hour or two at the most now. So I don't think it will have any really strong sun heat, hopefully not, in this area. And hopefully I can put my houseplants there, but I'll just have to see, because you know they can't take a lot of sun at probably any time. And in this little pot I just added some rose moss to my blue spruce and the pretty dianthus, and then I put several different colors of rose moss and purslane moss in here, so when that blooms I think it's going to be pretty. And right now I'm in the process of hoeing out seedling trees for the second time, all under these. The birds love these evergreen trees, and they put the little seeds down here, and usually they're the elm trees, but either way I don't want them growing here. And they're all of the way around on both sides, so that'll take me a little bit. But while I'm here, let me show you this little tree that my mother gave me. And this is a ligustrum. My friend Dee Dee told me the name of it. So, but I do love it. It's so pretty. These pretty little blooms, and they smell sweet too. So I like it. I've heard that it can also be a problem, but so far it has not been a problem at all for me, and I've enjoyed it. I need to get some of these old dead limbs out of the top of it at some point too, but it's looking good right now. It's Monday, May the 12th, and I have been trying to finish up all my little nursery plants that I purchased, getting them in the ground, or in a pot actually. I'm putting most of them in a pot. I don't lack very much, so I'm hoping actually to get it finished this evening. So this little verbena got put in this pot, and right beside it I kind of just took what I had, some of the ones I had left, and put a little hodgepodge in here. But I'm hoping it will turn out very pretty when they grow together and do their thing. So I am although having some trouble with, see how some of these are not looking good at all. They're looking weepy and weak, and like a snail has been eating on them maybe. I don't know, something. They'll probably have to be replaced, and that's not a happy thing for me. But so many things are doing well, so I'm happy about that. I put this little, this is a aster, and it will bloom in the late summer. But it kind of was all over on one side, so I kind of spread it out and gave it a restart. And then I put my little seed geranium that I purchased recently. I think I got these, where did I get these? Gosh, I can't remember if I got these at Ross or at Lowe's, but one of those two places. So, and I hope they will do well here. I did get another of the little white one to go with this. I just think these two look good together. And then I put some, just this little lipstick pink and patient in front of these, these are from the window and not looking very well, but they could come out of it and just look great. And I think the colors of them will look good with this little lipstick pink. And then I put the white polka dot plants around this one. And there's some volunteer petunias in there too. And then I did this little pot. I want to put some insecticide on here to hold the snails off, I'm hoping. And then this one back behind it is looking good, except for this little New Guinea impatient, and it was so pretty. I hope it will come out of this and live, but it's another one that looks, this is basically how they look when a snail has been eating on them. So I don't know if it's getting in the root, the soil, what's causing it to look so weepy and weak and terrible, and most of the time they don't come out of it. But I'm still going to give it hope because it's such a little beauty, and just because I would just do that, I have to give them hope so they can, I want them to all be pretty. And I'm going to have to take you down and show you down to this side down here on the other side of this redbud tree and show you some yarrow that's in bloom. But first, and I haven't got all these pots moved yet, but I did go ahead and put some petunias, some of the little volunteer petunias in this pot. I planned on putting rose moss in it, but these were coming up and I just thought I'll just use those. Also, I wanted to show you that my friend Susie did give me some more hens and chicks, and so I've filled this out again, and I'm going to try again. And I did move it away from the plants from all these over here that I do water these. I've been watering them every day, and I may continue on to do that for this little spot here, and one spot in the back under the weeping willow tree where I'll have some house plants. But hopefully I will learn not to just give this, I just was giving it a little splash, but for some reason I'm not sure what I do, but I'm having a terrible time with succulents, keeping them alive. Thank you, Susie, for letting me try again. And my neighbor came and asked me if I still had any of the volunteer petunias, and of course I do. So she's going to come at one time, I'm not sure when, but she'll be over here to get some of these, because you know they're grown, there's so many of them, they have to be thinned out anyway. And then she'll get a start, and then hers will start coming back also. So, and I think I told you, but I did find some, I planted a bunch of poppies in here, and I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I think you can. That this one is a poppy. See, this one is a poppy. There's lots of petunias growing up, but every now and again you will see a poppy. So I'm hoping to be sure and keep all those for myself until I can get them going in the garden, and then when I get excess of those, you know, I'll give some of those away if anybody, any of my loved ones or friends want some of them. That will be the plan. And this is what I wanted to show you, is this pretty little yarrow that's blooming. I love this pastel, kind of a rosy purple. And this is where I put my little trellis and put my silver lace vine. And I purchased a couple of dichondra, and I'm going to put them in this pot, but I'm hoping to take this cocoa liner out and just put a pot in there. I'm going to have to check it out and make sure it's sturdy enough. where it will stay on there and not just fall off for me, but that's the plan. And I took the cocoa liner out of this and put in a regular pot. And I used my Dichandra, or Dichandra, I think it's called Dichandra. And this is about the only place I have now where that Dichandra has room to just grow and grow and grow, because it will trail down all the way to the ground or pretty close by the end of this season. And it's got the pretty blue, powder blue color to it somewhat. And I also put in the icicles plant in the blue, and somewhere in there there's also a Dusty Miller, and that would be right here on the back side. But hopefully it will grow up and just fill this pot out and keep looking great. Be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.